now just started peeing it down. And I think this is why they call it the Wild Atlantic Way. Welcome to Ireland. So in the last video I left my narrowboat home, jumped on a ferry, and then over the last few days I've been driving all the way across Ireland to the west coast here on the Wild Atlantic Way. Now I'm not here just for the epic views or even for the adventure. I'm actually here to follow the trail of one of the most legendary pirates in history, Grace O'Malley. Now we're hoping by following this trail we're going to find loads of wonderful things to see and do, but we're going to start first by meeting the legend herself. We're going to have to get our skates on because the weather forecast for the next few days is rather moist. And we're going to start the trail here at Westport House because there's an amazing statue of her. And this is actually Grace O'Malley today. Not the person, not the pirate, not the chieftain, but the actual legend. And what we're actually trying to find out on this trip is how one woman ended up controlling ships, castles, and entire stretches of coastline. So now we've actually met the legend, what we're actually going to do is find out a lot more about her. Now this is not going to be a history vlog or documentary, it's going to be us pair on a bit of an adventure along with Bonny along the Wild Atlantic Way, trying to find out about this amazing, incredible woman that controlled this entire coastline in the 1500s. And hopefully along the way we'll come across some of her castles, some of her strongholds, and obviously have a lot of fun too.
Yeah, and I'd like to, honour my Irish history by having a pint of Guinness or two. So what do you reckon, Heidi? Are we up for that?
If I have to. Oh my goodness, it's windy. I'm hoping this camera's picking it up. But we've just parked up here. This is called Westport, and this park up is actually in Westport Marina. It's a free park up, and it overlooks Clew Bay, which may look lovely and calm right now, but hundreds of years ago this whole stretch of water, this whole bay and beyond, was controlled by Grace O'Malley. You know, so if you didn't know how to navigate these waters, or you didn't pay a toll, then you'd either take all your goods or engage in a bit of sword fighting. But we're going to head now to this lovely little harbour bit here. There's some bars, restaurants and little shops. We're going to head there because since we've been in Ireland, me and Gabby have not had a Guinness. So hopefully we're going to get a Guinness there tonight. So you ready?
Yeah, let's go and get a pint of Guinness or two.
This was the view we woke up to today. Just look at that, it's absolutely just magical, isn't it?
I love it. That's Patrick, and I've climbed up that a few years ago.
But we're swapping roles quite a lot on this trip because I've put Gabby on the van insurance for this, which means now that we can take in turns. So it's been nice swapping about, hasn't it?
Yeah, I love driving, so I'm enjoying myself.
So she's now got the job title of quartermaster and navigator. So where are we heading? Because she's found all these amazing park ups.
This is a good park up. We're going to head round the other side of Clew Bay. We're actually going to park at the bottom of Patrick. Hopefully walk up and get a lovely view of Clew Bay.
So first mate Bonny, are you ready? I'll tell you what, this little van has been absolutely amazing, you know. It's 26-year-old, but it's got a fridge, it's got a cooker, it's got hobs, it's got a shower, it's got a toilet, it's got hot running water, it's got a diesel heater. So we've been lovely and warm, haven't we, in here? Because we've had to put the diesel heater on every night because we're absolutely freezing, you know. It's not like going to Spain where it's really warm. We're in Ireland, which is very much similar to the UK, only I think it has a little bit more rain. But we haven't come here for the weather. We've actually come here for the stunning scenery, the history and the Guinness.
Wow, this is so cool. It's gorgeous.
So in order for us to get to know this pirate queen better, we need to understand a little bit more. And all these waters around here, Clew Bay, was her territory. Now the way to see them in full is from the top of that mountain there, Patrick. And you've been up there before, haven't you?
I've climbed up there before and the views are amazing and it's a beautiful hike, to be honest. I really enjoyed it. I think you'll find it quite fun.
Now, as you know, I do love a good hike, but going up hills, it absolutely kills me. But I'm willing to make the sacrifice just for you.
Thank you.
But also to be able to see the whole of Grace O'Malley's territory. And apparently there's hundreds of islands and inlets that were under her control. So unfortunately there's a height barrier on the car park, but we're going to try and find somewhere else. But if not, it's all part of the adventure, isn't it?
I think that's made your day, hasn't it?
So we may not have been able to get up the mountain today.
But what a view! Because I've been to Patrick twice now and I've never seen it from this angle. And I can see the path that I went up, so it's beautiful to see it from this side.
And there's actually as well, there's a church on the top of there. And they say that it's been used for pilgrims, isn't it?
Yeah, my nana, who's from Ireland, she's climbed it twice. I think it's like religiously the last Sunday on a July. And she did it barefooted, which is a thing as well. I'm not brave enough to do that.
Yeah, it's just amazing to see that. And then here, of course, to the left is the beautiful, stunning Clew Bay. And wow, it just looks amazing today. And there's an island out there called Clare Island, and we're going to be heading to that tomorrow. Bonny, yeah! Come on! Come on, come on, we go! Bonny! Yeah! And it's now just started peeing it down. And I think this is why they call it the Wild Atlantic Way. Wow, it's stunning, isn't it?
Sunglasses and getting rained on now.
And getting blown, and not in a good way. Right, so what an amazing little diversion from climbing a mountain. But we're going to go now and find our park up for tonight, which is another beach, isn't it?
Yeah. I've found it on Park for Nights, hopefully. Lovely little secluded beach, and it's not far from where I've got to get us ferry tomorrow.
Right, yeah, because tomorrow we're heading over to Clare Island. We've just parked up here. It's an absolutely stunning park up. However, coming along here, we did go over quite a lot of service water, didn't we?
Yeah.
And we've just been reading the reviews, and what did it say?
It said, be careful because somebody got stranded here, pulled up, parked up for the night, it had rained overnight, and then the road on the way in was flooded.
Now, we've got this ferry tomorrow, and we've just looked at the weather, and it's 90% chance of rain all night long. So we're going to go now and just check out another park up.
Another one. It's like adventure, isn't it? This is what happens.
But we might come back. We'll see. We'll see how brave we are. And just within 1 minute of putting the camera down, the rain has started. We were actually just going to make a brew, but I think we better go, aren't we?
Yeah, I'm just looking up at the next destination. Yeah, we better leave before it gets any more flooded.
Got ourselves parked here. It's pretty much the same as the other park up, but the road access into it is a lot better. Yeah, look at that. How amazing is that, eh? That's our park up for tonight. So we've just been for a lovely walk along this beach. The tide's just starting to go out now, and the next high tide's at 6:30 in the morning. So yeah, it's just amazing. We're just waiting now for a beautiful sunset because we're on this west coast and the sun sets in the west. Woo! But we're hoping it's going to be a lovely colourful one, but we'll see. But anyway, this is a bottle of wine that's been left in the van since I took it to Spain. So we thought we'd give this a try. And we're doing a little bit of cooking in the van. I cooked last night. We had pasta and sauce, pasta pesto. And tonight, Gabs is cooking. But we keep our meals quite easy in the van because obviously if it's something really complicated, you've got loads of washing up and it's just harder. So yeah, so what are we having tonight, Gabs?
We're having my campervan special spicy rice, which is basically just rice from a pack, a few bits of veg, and then sweet chilli. Makes it spicy. It's really quite nice. And then I've got a bit of side salad, traditional coleslaw, which I picked up in Ireland just a few days ago, and probably a bit of rocket. We'll see what we've got in the fridge. It's just nice and simple and quick.
So cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. So good morning. It's very windy today, but it's absolutely glorious. We had the most amazing night's sleep last night, listened to the sound of the sea and the seagulls. But this morning it's a very different beach to what it was when we went to bed, because a load of cars have joined us. There's an actual surfing school just set up over there. Lots of surfers out at sea. 2 other camper vans joined us last night, and then some cows escaped the field and they've been wandering along the beach. All very different to how it was when we got here yesterday. But the tide's currently out over there now and it's just beautiful. Very sandy beach down there. We took Bonny for a walk earlier and she just loves it. She loves being at the sea. I think she's definitely was born a pirate, Bonny was. But anyway, we're going to be setting off very shortly because we need to get ourselves to a ferry port. Not for the van, we're going as foot passengers because we're heading over to Clare Island. Thank you. Welcome to Clare Island. Wow, we did want to vlog it on the ferry, but it was only a 20-minute journey and it was going so fast, about 100 miles an hour.
It was like a white water ride, honestly.
Yeah.
It was brilliant.
And the water was coming over the side and I'm actually drenched from the waist down. Not in a good way, rather moist. But yeah, we're at here, we've made it. This was where Grace O'Malley was stationed. She had a castle here and it overlooks the whole of Clew Bay. So if you're going to be in control of them waters, this is the place to be. This here is Grace O'Malley's stronghold. This overlooks the whole of the bay and if the merchants didn't pay their toll, then she would be confiscating their goods. But this was a main route for boats going to Galway, which was the main port. Wow, just look at it, it's just absolutely awesome. Anyway, it's just started peeing down, so we're going to try and find some shelter and see if we can actually get inside this. Ah. Right, I need to find somewhere else then. Come on, love. And this coastline here, this is what made her, you know, dangerous water, hidden inlets, unpredictable seas. And she didn't just survive, she used it.
Right, it's quicksand.
Not quicksand.
Shit, look at my shoe.
So was she actually a pirate? Well, I suppose that depends on who you ask. To the English, she was a problem, but to her people, she was a leader. But what is undeniable is that she controlled ships, she controlled fleets, she controlled people. She had land and she had power, and in a world that wasn't built for her to have any of that, she just made it hers. Not bad, eh, for a girl that just wanted to go sailing. Just been for a walk around part of the island and had a Guinness, and I'm stood back here by Grace O'Malley's stronghold overlooking Clew Bay, and it's just amazing. The tide's in at the moment, and just an interesting fact about this bay is it's said to have 365 islands, one for every day of the year. But Grace O'Malley knew these waters like the back of her hand. She knew all the little hidden inlets, all the little islands and sandbanks, and because it's sheltered from the open Atlantic on this west coast, it made it easier for her to control. Are you two having a good time?
Yeah, we're loving it. Sierra's got to us, so we're just having a minute stretch.
So we're going to now head back to the ferry. But have you had a good time, Gabs?
Yeah, not as much as Bonny, love. Yeah, from this viewpoint you can see Kirkpatrick in the distance, and we had a beautiful park up with the beach, and we were stood on the beach looking over at Clare Island, and now I stood here looking at the bottom of Kirkpatrick, and hopefully we'll get to go around the other side of Clew Bay and overlook from that side as well. This Wild Atlantic Way is beautiful.
We're actually going back on a different ferry. This is a much bigger boat, so we're hoping it'll be a lot more stable than that little one we came out. Brilliant, wasn't it?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It's 20 minutes of fun.
But this means that we haven't been in Ireland that long, and we're on our second boat.
Yeah.
We're going to see how many boats we can cram into this trip. For the last few days we've been exploring this wild Atlantic way and it's just been breathtaking. What a coastline.
Oh yeah, it's brilliant. If you follow these little tiny roads, like single track roads, they lead to the most magical views and weird little quirky places. It's gorgeous.
We've just parked up here and just behind us is Rockfleet Castle. This also has a connection to the Grace O'Malley trail which we're following because she actually lived here. This was one of her main residents. And as you can see, it's very well positioned because it overlooks the whole of Clew Bay, and when the tide's in you can actually sail your boat right up to it, but when the tide's out it acts like a sort of moat. It's really well defended because you get no boats coming up here. So really good defence, very tactical. And it's pretty incredible really, isn't it, that from here she was not only managing ships and trade but also people. And back in the 1500s that would have been mostly men. So, you know, incredible woman really. So I've just plumped myself down on this rock here, right in the bay, so I hope the tide doesn't come in. And I'm just staring here, looking at that castle, and I'm absolutely in awe, just trying to imagine how it was back then in the 1500s. You know, and it all started to change really in the late 1500s for Grace because English power was growing in Ireland and people like Grace were being pushed out. Some of her lands were taken, some of her family were arrested, and everything she'd built was at risk. So instead of fighting, she did something completely unexpected. She set sail to England and demanded an audience with the Queen. When I was researching all this, I actually got to this part of the story and I just thought it was really comical because when Grace O'Malley got to England and got to see the Queen, she had an audience with the Queen, she refused to bow and actually concealed a dagger. But the two ladies sat down together and they couldn't communicate in their own languages because obviously the Queen spoke English and Grace O'Malley was Irish Gaelic, so they both communicated in Latin. And over a cup of tea or maybe a rum, and they sat there and Grace O'Malley asked for her son to be released from prison, her lands back and her power back, and the Queen agreed. And then I think in 1603 she actually died here, Grace O'Malley, and some say that her body was then moved to Clare Island and she was buried in the abbey there. But what an absolute legend, you know. And we've absolutely loved this. Being here in Ireland and following this trail has took us to some just amazing places, just breathtaking. But we are going to continue along this coastline today and find ourselves a lovely little park up for tonight. So what do you think of Grace O'Malley then?
I mean, she picked a wonderful place to live, didn't she? Because this is just gorgeous. I'm sat here, there's no wind. First time in, I think we've been on West Coast, there's no wind. So I'm just sat chilling by this lovely stream. Yeah, what a story Grace O'Malley's got. It's amazing. There should be more of it, I think, in Ireland. It's pretty hard to find information about it. You've got to kind of research it yourself.
So Bonny has been for a massive run on the beach today, but when we got here there's a big sign saying no dogs. So obviously we've not let Bonny out whilst we've been here, but we're going to head off now, try and find our park up for the night, and I'll catch up with you when we get there. So how's this for a park up then?
It's gorgeous. You know what? We were over that side looking over here. Now we're over this side looking over there.
That's the whole of Clew Bay there. That's the whole of Grace O'Malley's, or was. You know, so you've got this massive expanse of water here, but then you've also got the little inlets and all the little islands, and wow, it's just breathtakingly gorgeous. Wonderful. But we're going to go now, have a walk with Bonny, get back, make some dinner, But this is the view we're going to go to sleep to tonight, and the view that we're going to be waking up to in the morning. Wow. But just to show you as well, we're on the Wild Atlantic Way, as we've mentioned, and all the way along it you've got these posts and these signs. Do you know about them, Gabs?
Yeah, they're just like lookout points. But if you like Google Wild Atlantic Way, it is an official like coastal route. And so these are like the main points where they say come on because it's a beautiful view or there's some historic reason. So yeah, they're dotted all the way along, so it's great. It's brilliant.
And we've been following them signs at the top, those wiggly lines, haven't we?
Yeah, yeah.
All the way along.
Yeah, you know you're on the Wild Atlantic Way, you follow the signs for them, yeah.
We're actually here on a campsite on Achill Island because last night at that epic park up overlooking the bay, we actually ran out of water. So first thing this morning, we've driven to here because as much as this van is brilliant and great for off-grid, at least once a week we need to come to empty our toilet, fill up with water, and
get all his washing done.
Yeah, get the washing done, charge the power banks. So we're currently here, but on the way to here we did pass another one of Grace O'Malley's strongholds. And honestly, the more of this coastline I see, the more it makes sense of how Grace O'Malley became such a legend. But what fascinates me most is the bit where she goes to see the Queen. Two women in the 1500s, both powerful, both respected, and both surviving in a world dominated by men. I mean, wow. Just
it's amazing that Grace O'Malley even got to see the Queen, really. That's like kind of mind-boggling that she got that far.
Yeah, just toddling up to the palace, whatever, just saying, can I have a chat with you?
Yeah, demanding a son back.
Yeah, but that's so shows how much they respected each other. You know, one queen, one pirate queen. It's amazing. Anyway, we're going to have a rum. So we're going to have the last of this roast coffee rum to toast Grace O'Malley. What a legend. And whilst I am pouring this as well, a huge thank you to this week's pirate crew. Thank you for everything that you do. We're having a big one tonight. To Grace and to Ireland. We're loving it, aren't we?
Yeah, this Wild Atlantic Way is absolutely amazing.
And talking about the Wild Atlantic Way, next week we're going to be heading further down to Galway because we're going to look for some hookers, aren't we?
Yeah, not that type of hookers. It's actually a traditional sailboat, the Galway hookers.
Yeah, and they're very much similar to the boats that Grace O'Malley would have sailed, similar size anyway. So cheers everyone, sweat the lips, woohoo!
Cheers.
It's amazing. Anyway, I'm going to leave the video here. If you have enjoyed it, please do give us a big thumbs up. It really helps the channel. That's burning me. Subscribe down below if you haven't already. And before I go, just a massive, huge thank you to my lovely, gorgeous patrons. So that's it. Please take care, stay safe, and I'll see you next week.